Should be live anyways. Let's see. It's a little bit of a delay.
A few seconds. There we are.
We're there?
Yep.
Yep, I think we're good. There's a nice big delay, so it's going to take a while.
Does anybody else need
Alright,
a
well, we're having chicken for dinner.
Can I start eating?
Solly and
That's
Ashley,
chicken,
can you
and
guys do children?
strawberries, and bread.
Is it good?
Dad.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
This is better than the
Dad,
Justus.
what happened?
It is? Oh.
Sorry
It's
to go.
better than the It's because it's a delay, so
Can you
she's
guys hear
thinking
us?
that it's all crazy because it's for you moving it around.
Mom, I had
Yes,
one
we do
chicken.
have a new camera that Tom got and a new microphone,
Did
so
someone
hopefully, yes, hopefully it's all good. Yes, it is homemade bread.
Mom,
Who's little Jack?
What?
Ryan says that little Jack says hi, Mills
That's
family.
his new donkey.
Oh, that's what they named him? Hi,
I
Jack.
think so.
I kind of feel like Jack's probably not watching this. I think he's fibbing.
is it Jack?
Let's see. So many people saying hi. Yeah, Tom decided that we need to step it up a little bit with our videoing. So he got, I don't even think it's an expensive camera. It's just,
No, it really wasn't, but it's very high quality. Hopefully the sound's okay. I think it picks up good stuff.
we're all doing very good. Let's see. What was it? Oh, I was going to tell everybody that my sister Bethany had her baby a couple of days ago, so that was exciting. So we've been very busy around here because I went to the hospital with them and stayed with them. And yes, Thomas is here tonight, not working.
I've been here in like 4 months.
Yeah. Worked out he doesn't work on the weekends. So.
Haha, good. The quality's good. It's supposed to be high quality. We usually would do it with my phone, but now we got a real camera.
Makes me nervous that our food noises are going to be louder on the...
It's not that much different than the other camera. It's just more clear. Or the other microphone.
Okay, good. How's the weather over there today? It's actually... What is it? It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I bet you it's 60 something.
We had a giant blizzard.
2 days ago.
Yeah, a couple of days ago. I had to drive to the hospital in the middle of the night. During the giant blizzard, it was terrible. I was...
For Bethany's baby.
Yes, for Bethany's baby. We went to the hospital at 2 in the morning, and they took their own car, and then I drove separately, and the snowflakes were so huge, and they were coming down so fast. It was like mesmerizing. I couldn't see anything, and yeah, and then it had rained all day before that, and then snowing on top of it. It was terrible, but I made it there. It took me, I could only drive like 30 miles an hour on our 80-mile-an-hour interstate.
Mom.
Wow, so exciting, Tammy.
What?
The baby's name is Brantley, Brantley, Augustus. And Augustus is Bethany's husband's middle name. But Tom's calling him Brant Levi because he looks exactly like Bethany's husband.
Yep.
The first time I saw him, I'm like, oh my gosh. He looks just like his dad. He's so cute. He was good size. He was 8 pounds, 4 ounces. She was about... only one left. Good job. I was like, why is she doing that? But Bethany was, she was due on the 21st of March, so 2.5 weeks or something past her due date, but all is well. Let's see. Yeah, it was a terrible drive to the hospital. And then I didn't take Hannah with me, but I'm still nursing her. So at 7 that morning, I had to drive back home and stayed home long enough to nurse her a couple of times. Then I went back to the hospital, and it was still snowing the whole time. And then we came home at midnight, or we left the hospital at midnight that night. Eden went back with me the rest of the second time, so she got to be there. We didn't actually, my sister ended up having a cesarean, so we didn't actually see the birth, but Eden was there with me the whole time, and she got to hold the baby before I did.
I get no laugh. I am all laugh.
Good.
You still have got a bunch of snow, like we just said a couple days ago, so the garden really isn't doing anything yet.
Yeah, nothing going on in the garden, although I've been dreaming.
She's been watching gardening videos all day.
Yep.
Listening to them.
I had to stop it just so that we could do the live stream because I was listening to one while I was working.
Chicken's very good too. Very tender.
The genie had a baby boy. He's in the NICU, but hopefully coming home soon. Yes, that would be wonderful. I hope you can start uploading more videos soon. Me too. Wouldn't that be excellent if I would do that?
I'm trying to
You know, she says she really enjoyed my last video. I'm very emotional since I lost my mom in
I've been
November.
improving comments like crazy. Everybody's really liked it.
Yeah, Tom's been doing all my comments for me, but it's just amazing how, like, I don't cry about my mom, or it's not that big of a deal. Life has went on for almost 10 years now, but when
You're that long already?
Yeah, 9 years.
Wow.
This May. And a couple days ago was 10 years since Grandpa died. But
like 20-something years since my dad died.
Yeah.
Well, 30-something
more than that.
years.
You were 10, so 30-something, yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, talking about it, though, still brings all that emotion right back up again. I would like to do more of videos like that where I'm just talking because I don't have to worry about...
Did you use your microphone thingy?
Yeah, I just used that little microphone. I sat on the bed where I was comfy and just sat there and talked. And
Good. Did you have a camera or did you just have the camera?
I just used the little microphone thing and then...
I didn't watch it, so...
uploaded the audio file, and then I put that video I made of my candle burning.
I wondered if it was a candle.
And I put that, so there was something on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did music, but I didn't actually listen to it because I can't listen to myself talking like that. So I just listened to make sure that the music wasn't too overpowering at different spots and hoped it was good.
Were you nervous you weren't going to have any baby girls after 4 boys?
Yes.
I was nervous we were going to keep having boys. I told God that if I had 12 in a row, I'd know it was from him. I'd take 12 boys. And then after 4, I was like, what did I say?
He's saying that because he wanted to stop at 2 kids. It's not that he would have cared if he had all sons. He just didn't want to have 12 kids.
Yeah, it was a bit of growing process for me, as I'm sure most of you guys know. Everyone has been on purpose, but I had to grow into it.
Yeah, there's so many people that shared about, losing someone or a long time ago or even very recently. Somebody did the day after I put up the video, I think, and I know that we've all been there. And if we haven't yet, we will be one of these days. So.
11 is okay then, yeah. Actually, I don't know still. I gotta grow into anything else already still.
You just are hanging on to that, like.
Everyone is a step, small baby steps. I never said I want to have 9 kids, but I did say I want to have 1 more, 9 more times.
I'm just saying it's easier for you now than it used to be.
Yes, it is. Having 1 more is not a big deal.
No, it's not.
It's not any different. Having 3 was the hardest, I've always said. Having 4 wasn't really that much harder than 3, and having 5 wasn't really that much harder. Actually, it got easier because by that time the oldest was able to help.
No. No.
We are having
Hey.
barbecue ranch chicken with potatoes, and then
Oh, is that what this is?
yes, strawberries and some homemade bread. The bread smells so good, but I haven't eaten it yet.
No.
It's delicious.
What if we got twins? That would be fun. Our next monthly Walmart video will be out as soon as I get it done. We had one filmed.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, and I haven't edited. We had a house guest for a week and a half that was unplanned, and then the baby coming, and then we had other family parties and things like that, and it's just getting the income taxes finally done for myself and my dad and my grandma, Thomas.
Taxes for Thomas.
Yep. I taught him how to do it himself. He did it.
Everyone knows it's so hard. It's so easy. Just push a few buttons for a little while and we're done.
Before there was
It's
computer
easy when you-
programs,
and
it was a
it's easy
lot
when you
harder.
don't have a business, but you have to deal with all that stuff. But
That's true.
no, just eat the food that I give
Having
you.
3 was difficult. I remember when I had one in one arm, one in another arm, and one was being naughty somewhere, and I couldn't get them. I had too many. I didn't have enough hands. So after I got past 3, I come to terms with it. Really isn't any different. You have to let one go.
Is this the touch screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
All right. I just couldn't remember, and sometimes I'm dumb and doing
Swipe
that.
up
It's
if
not
you
a
want.
touch screen, so.
Sit there, buddy.
I did.
Also, the getting past 3, I was talking to someone today about grocery budgets, and that you think that there's not, like, you need a lot more money for each one, but you actually don't, because you get better at what you're doing and you get more efficient at it, so there's a lot less waste, and you get better at shopping and all that, so that it really, we don't spend significantly more than a lot of other smaller
Our
families.
guest who came over has 2 kids, and his grocery budget was bigger than our grocery budget with 9 kids.
So it's the money thing tends to work itself out because you just adjust for.
You have what you have, and when you got to make it stretch, you stretch it.
Yep. We live in Wyoming. What are our summer plans?
I don't know. I'm still trying to come to terms with the snow being
Make
gone.
a bathroom.
No.
That was
Well,
the
I don't
plan
know.
for so long, but then we did other things and we never did.
My summer plan is to plant a whole bunch of trees and start my food forest. That's what I'm hoping to get done this summer.
It would be fun if we had a bunch of big trees in our yard. Then when we were playing outside, it would be kind of like playing in a forest.
Yeah, I kind of dream ordered some trees. I didn't actually order them, but I put them in a cart and I imagined it.
That sounds fun.
I'm getting closer. Yes, this whole thing, she says she tries to convince people about the information about how expensive kids are is just a myth. And that is so true. Like, it costs, whatever it costs to raise a kid is what you have to spend. You can spend a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But you sure
You have
don't
so
have
much
to.
money you get a month, and all that money is what you need to live, no
Mhm.
matter how many kids you have. And so if you only have one kid, then he eats steaks for every dinner, and you dress him in. Not really, but you spend more on the one kid than you do on 2 kids or 3 kids or 4 kids, and especially as you get more and more, you find other ways to save and to eat more at home and save more money and look for sales and that sort of thing. Hey,
How did you turn?
Claudia, leave her alone.
Be nice.
Yeah, you like that.
I forgot what I was going to say. Where are you going to start? When are you going to start spring break? We actually just had our spring break.
I'll get some more bread.
That's when our friend was staying with us, was over our spring break. I had all sorts of things planned that I was going to do, but it
Hannah.
didn't get to happen because
You
life
threw
just
everything
changed
out
all of a
like that and
sudden.
moved it.
Yeah, dream shopping is nice.
Okay.
That's the thing. Back in the day, kids' play toys were boxes and sticks. It's kind of like the whole birth thing when being at the hospital with my sister and everything, and just like the whole way mindset is so different there, and so expensive. And well, I'm not going to get into the whole thing about the cesarean, but at any rate, it really costs like nothing to have a baby if we did it the way that it was always done, and historically, like you need water and towels, and if you want to tie the cord, you need some string or something, but it's like it should cost you literally nothing. You can scrounge stuff around the house to have the baby, or you can spend $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 to have a baby, and in the end, you have the baby one way or the other. And it's the same with the kids and the toys. Like, you can buy all sorts of stuff, or they can play with whatever's around, and you get used to whatever you get used to, and it doesn't. You don't
have what you have. You have $10. You need to feed 3 people. You don't go buy 1 steak. You buy 3 packs of ramen noodles and some chips and some drink.
That's the
Remember we did that thing with the
No.
buying lunch? What was it? How much was it?
$1.12. That's still not a very efficient way to feed a family.
You have enough. It's all you have though.
But it's
Like,
also
making
have to
this
buy the
bread
water
was
in the
cheaper than-
microwave.
Buying ramen for the family.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm just saying this.
Well, my point still stands that however much money is how much money you have, and if you have extra, you just waste more.
You're on yours.
That's exactly it. It's the we spend the time like earning the money so that we can buy convenient stuff, so that we don't have to spend time making our food and doing all those things. Or you could just stay home and not earn the money, earn much less or whatever, and use that time to cook from scratch. And you find out that you actually don't need very much money. Is really what it boils down to. It's the working to buy stuff. Working costs you more. Obviously, you need some money, but especially in a 2-income family, both people working ends up costing you far more than if one would stay home and you would be able to put that time to being efficient with what you have. Yes, Hannah is loud, man. She's a screamer.
She screams for fun. So
she gets excited and she laughs and screams and
She looks like she's gonna want to eat it, and then she's like,
bread is so good.
Yeah.
I had hospital births with all dying, but my OB said he wished the medical system could go back to bartering and people could give him chickens for his service. That would be awesome. I wish that about everything. I'm like, I wish we could just, go back to bartering. That'd be great. I mean, in theory, I guess. I don't know in practice. And the home, oh my goodness, the home cooked foods are cheaper if you're serious about it. Like, if you're just gonna on a whim go make some homemade cookies and you have to buy all the ingredients for like one batch of cookies, it's probably cheaper just to go buy a package of cookies. But when you change your whole system to where you're cooking from scratch and you're buying large bags of things in bulk, it really is a lot less expensive cooking your own things. But when you kind of only dabble, it's hard to see the savings sometimes.
No.
I can't see myself.
Go sit down, baby.
You can go look over there.
Is it on that over there?
Somebody from California is looking into moving to Wyoming. Any advice?
As fast as possible. It's gonna be a shock. Shopping's a shock. So you don't have all the stores and the custom places, and you're not gonna have Aldi's and all those other crazy places. But it's everything you trade that for is infinitely better, in my opinion. You get nature and clean air, low traffic, nice people. It's really, really wonderful. I don't regret it in the slightest. I think most people it takes a couple years to adjust into it. But if you come in with a good attitude, wanting to do it and wanting to get away from the rat race, you'll love it. If you come thinking, okay, I'll try it, but I might not like it, then you won't like it. So it's all a mental state, but I absolutely love it.
Tiffany wants to know if you put ice in your milk.
Yes, I put ice in my milk, definitely. 3 pieces of ice if it's whole milk. 2 pieces of ice if it's 2%. Hey!
Maybe you could put her down so she can play and she'll stop screaming.
When you say she does it,
Headphone warning. Tom is crazy. Oh, that was Ryan.
She's playing this so that her husband can hear the large family advice. He's nervous about the concept, but I'm trying to encourage him that God will provide. You can speak to that, can't
I absolutely can. The nervousness never goes away. But I know it's what God wants. So that's my driving force. And it should be all of our driving forces, in my opinion.
And then by what God wants, we mean a willingness to accept.
Well, I know that God wants us to have lots of children. I know that's the point of life, in my opinion. And so everyone is a struggle. And it's like, oh, man, having another one. And I have to admit to myself that the only reason why I'm nervous is because everybody says I'm crazy. And once I come to terms with the idea that I'm not crazy, the world's crazy. And how would you live your life if you were never told anything about anything? So anyways, I don't have to decide. I never ever got comfortable with just having 9 kids, ever. I got comfortable with having a 3rd child. It was okay, we're going to do it. And then it was fine, and I loved it. It was great. And then I had to be okay with going to have a 4th child. Oh, nope, here we go. And then we have a 4th child, and then it's great, and I love it. And then, oh, here's another one. Here we go. We're going to do it again. Okay, let's do it. And so it's just little baby steps, but it really isn't a big deal. You always have enough. Everything always works. It's never like you're going to say, oh, sorry, you can't eat today because we don't have enough money for you. You just cut everybody's portions down or whatever, you know.
No, we feed them all well.
Of course we do. My point is you always have enough. You just waste less when you have more. So if the issue is money, that's going to work out.
Tom's an INTJ personality type, and he really likes to have everything. He likes to know for certain exactly how something is going to work out before he'll do it. And we both play Sudoku.
Yeah.
Well, he quit playing because he had it on his phone.
Oh, yeah. This
and
story.
He would play the hardest level.
Play the master level.
Yeah, and it would take him days to finish a puzzle because he's got to know all the possibilities for every square and
I don't guess.
Map it out. He's like, not just wants to know, but he's got to write it in there on the little thing. And so he's got to know absolutely before he'll put a number in.
Andrew's like, it's either one of these two. I'll try this one. That drives me crazy.
So yeah, one day we're in a long drive and he's like, you want to try out the Sudoku? So I said, sure. And so I did the first, I learned how to play it that day. And in short order, he wouldn't play anymore because I could finish those same level ones in like, I got him down to like 6 minutes.
Yeah, but see, it goes, meh, if you get it wrong. And then you find a different number.
But no, it's not that, because I can do them without any mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'm a much more willing to just go for it. And if it's a mistake, then you can always fix it, and life goes on. So it's just the difference in how we operate. So I'm a very much take a leap of faith kind of person, and know that it's going to work out.
I do that too, but not in Sudoku.
Mom,
I know you are, because you can't know the end of your life right now, so you have taken a lot of leaps of faith. It's just not as natural for you, because you would rather know for certain that if I have 9 kids, I have enough money for them before you have them.
I don't know that it was only the money. It was just the freak out factor. It was like, I can't have 4 kids. That's a lot. I'm crazy. I don't know what to do with myself. But in reality, it's not any different. And I love my kids. I love them all. They're so great. And I love all their personalities. And you see their personalities more when you have more different personalities to compare them with. And you don't notice all the details of someone's personality if you're only alone with them all the time. So having lots of them has really given me an idea of how different people are and how to read different people. And it's just really great. But it definitely is a growing process. It's not only the money. At least it wasn't for me. It was the panic, and I can't tell you exactly where that comes from, but it's just, I guess it's just because the world tells you it's super hard and super expensive and you're stupid if you do it, and it's that stuff, which I know is dumb. So I do the right thing even if it freaks me out. So
yes, that is exactly right. You're a good man. I just want to say something about that. Now it's gone from my brain. I spent all my time listening, and then my thought left.
Jumped out.
Yep.
Yeah, if there was one of 2 numbers in the Sudoku hole, I had, it might as well be 10 numbers that could go there. Because until I could figure out that it was for sure this one, and sometimes you don't know until you do the whole darn puzzle and try a number.
See, that's the difference, like with the one on the phone, because it tells you immediately that it's wrong. If I was doing it on paper, it would take me longer, because if I put the wrong number in, I'll get to a point where it's like, okay, that's not right, and I have to retrace my steps and get rid of those numbers. So it does take long. I can do it faster on that than I would in real life. It would take me.
To me, it'd be exactly the same.
When Jim brought those copies over that we did together, he never did finish his, and I did mine in like 22 minutes, I think, and then he stopped bringing them over to do it with me because it wasn't even fun. But they just had twins. Yep. You know, I don't know. People, like at the we were at where Grandma Fern lives the other day, and that lady saw all of us, all the kids with us, and she wanted to know if they were all our kids, and you said yes, and she's like, good luck with that.
I love it. Whenever I'm in a customer's house, it always comes up. Do you have kids? And I say, how many? I have 9 kids, and it's always this look on their face like, what a bunch of cult members, or you are an insane religious nut. I just know it. Or sometimes they're like literally happy, and it's fun. I love springing that question on people because you can see truth in their eyes for a split second.
Mom,
and that's really fun.
Mom, look. I made you.
You made me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good, baby girl.
What was I going to say about that now? My brain is... What people say, people's reactions. Oh, I was just going to say that not Grandma Fern, but my other grandma, she thinks we're quite crazy. And it's just one of those things where, like, you just do what you want to do, because it doesn't really matter what you do in life. There's going to be somebody, or lots of people, who think you're crazy, but it's sad, I think, to get to the end of your life and never have done what you wanted to do with it, because you spent your whole time doing what you were supposed to do instead of what you wanted to do. And if you don't just do it, there's no, it's not like there's going to be a day when there's no judges telling you that you're doing the wrong thing. They're always going to be there, so.
Yeah, that's the most fun. All the nervousness goes away when I get to freak other people out. Because I can see how nervous they are for me. I can say, hey, I'm not that nervous.
Sure. I had a woman at Walmart think I was restocking shelves because my cart had so much Easter stuff in it. Yeah, I've gotten comments, under the breath comments before when I was shopping at Walmart, because, well, and I've got them right on here because of my videos, and people see what I buy at Walmart, who act like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're buying that much pop or something, and it's like, I'm not taking this home for me to drink tonight, you know? This is a month worth for a whole bunch of people, but...
You always get is it picture day?
Yeah, people ask us that a lot of times. You guys having pictures taken today? Say, no, we just wear matching clothes every day.
That looks really good, Mom.
I'm glad everybody did like the video. That's something I've been wanting to talk about the... I want to talk about meaningful stuff, and I realize if I don't, again, just start doing it, then if I keep waiting until I get my old stuff caught up, it's not going to happen. So I decided just to sit down the other day when I had some time and make that video. But, I haven't been editing for a long time. I just feel like I haven't had time. And
So we had that guest for a week, and there's a little bit of a funk going on. We just didn't do stuff, but there's more videos coming. They'll come eventually.
Yeah, they're gonna keep coming. I really liked the I'm gonna show it to you actually. Jane from Ireland sent me a thing. I'm like, I think I might frame this and hang it up on the wall. It really was perfect.
I'll make someone feel good. Just do it. It's great having lots of kids. Oh man, the bread is so tasty. It's nice and sweet, buttery.
Not too crunchy.
She sent me this. I don't know if I'm showing it. It says, "Be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year." And I really like that. That really was like, I needed to hear that, because I think I have a hard time taking in and giving out at the same time. And I've had so much of my own growth happening that it's hard for me to focus on output when it's like I'm just learning and growing so much right now. And the good news is that there's a lot more that I have that I want to come out, but I can't focus on reading and doing the things I want to do and spend all that same amount of time on editing and doing all those things. So it'll we'll get back. Yes, but it's like the tide, the in and out, and I guess I'm just on a, I don't know what you call that, which part of the cycle, but.
Wait, that
Claudia,
was...
don't take our paper airplane. Somebody's being naughty back there.
Go sit down.
Um,
Did you make this airplane for her?
I made it for Sophia.
I want to eat it.
We live in Wyoming. Let's see. So she's making her own bread and she's never going back. For 2 years, I think, when we just had 3 kids, I always made our bread. I never bought it from the store. I didn't even have a KitchenAid then. I just made it all by hand.
So it has...
And then I forget how good it is. It's been a while since I made this recipe, and I'm sure we'll be on a kick for a while of making it.
See, that's the thing. It's going to be so good, though, that you end up eating more. It doesn't actually save any money, but it's super good.
It might.
Even if you have to make it twice as much.
I don't know. We did have some really nice spring weather. The kids and I have been spending a lot of time outside.
It was
Then
so
we
nice
had-
Monday.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was.
It snowed 2 days later.
Yeah, then we had the big blizzard, but it's all pretty much melted off now. So we got some green grass out there. It'll be a while still before anything comes up in the garden. I really hope my seeds come up that I planted in the fall. We'll see, but I would love it if they do.
We're just Christians.
No, Miss Hannah is not walking yet. She does pull herself up and
She just stand up.
Crawls
she,
like a maniac.
yeah, it crawls super fast. She's pretty sweet. She looks huge now after Bethany had her baby because her baby is so tiny.
Don't draw on the table.
Draw on the paper. It's drawing everywhere but the paper.
Yes, we will get to it when we get to it. And I guess that's
You do this and
what I have to keep telling myself. Like, I feel like I always need to catch up, but I'm like, it's just, I need to slow down and just let myself do it when I feel like doing it. Do you think? It might help with hair loss. I know if you look on the progesteronetherapy.com website, she has a lot of information about that kind of stuff. And I do think that I remember reading some stuff about hair loss and the progesterone cream helping that.
grab it right here. And you throw it.
Is this alright after 3 rooms?
Hope we get to Wisconsin. That's actually a possibility now that Papa Doug's
Yep.
in
Papa
the
Doug's
process
moving
of
out that
moving,
way.
so
And probably go
we
over
might
there
start
and see
making
him.
trips that direction every once in a while. Yes, that when she says that the knowing that you feel sad now, but you won't always feel sad. That's always
Mm-hmm.
a thing to remember because it's so easy to like get bogged down in what you're feeling at this moment. I talked about that a little bit on my postpartum video too. That it's easy when everything feels like it's all falling apart, crazy, to feel like this is how it's always going to be, but it never is. It always comes to an end, and then you're like, what was I being a big baby about? It wasn't that bad, but you can get yourself all worked up even worse if you can't like remember that this too shall pass. Yeah, the boys are all having changing voices and changing faces and getting hairier.
Keep telling Judah he's not going to be able to scream at the top of his lungs anymore.
But I still can.
He still can for now, but I remember that day that I couldn't. I about went hoarse trying to see if make myself still scream.
I have not been using the progesterone cream. I still have it sitting on my dresser, but I haven't used it for a while. Not for me. have anything else to say about that.
It's kind of weird that it's so bright in the day.
Yeah.
For the live stream, the time changed.
Lisa's comment, I just say, makes me think that Hannah's birthday is May 2nd. So I just realized I haven't planned her birthday party at all, and that's like
getting close.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks or something. I probably should do something about that. That's where our friend lives, is in Appleton, Wisconsin. Yeah. And that's where Papa Doug's, well, Donna's daughter lives there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 10th baby a possibility.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. The quality is good. I got a new camera.
Anything
and I was
is possible.
hoping that it was looking good quality, and it's nice to see people saying that they noticed. Scratching. I did have an itch, though.
I tease Tom because when he's doing videos on his own
Apparently
channel,
I scratch
when he feels nervous,
when I'm nervous.
starts scratching, gets itchy all over. He'll be
I don't know if I'm actually itchy or if I feel like I just need to do something. The guy that came over and stayed with us, oh, Knuckles, don't hit the camera. The guy that came over and stayed with us from Appleton, he wants to open up a computer repair business in Appleton. So, oh my gosh, Knuckles, how many times are you going to walk over the camera? And so he came over and stayed with us for a week and went on my jobs with me, and I taught him how to do it. So he's working on getting that started over there in Appleton. It's going to be kenotech.com. KENNOWTECH, I think. Or at least he's on Facebook. I know he's got a website. I'm not sure if it's all the way up yet. But
what kind of camera is this?
It's a Logitech something 90 blah blah blah. It's new. I don't remember. There was a bunch of them. But it's about an $80 camera. Really wasn't that expensive, and I've been very happy with it. It's so sweet when you give Eden choices when you're at Walmart. It's fun to be able to do that.
For Hannah's birthday, I think that I'm going to do a music-themed birthday party for her because she loves music. It's so cute how anything that sounds like a rhythm at all, she just starts
dancing. Yep.
Bopping around, and she's so happy. So I think it'd be fun to do a musical theme for her and maybe play some of our little instruments or something. I'll have to think it through more concretely, but that's my plan for now. I missed a whole bunch of things up here, so I think maybe I'll scroll up and see if there's anything. People have been mewing there. Judah's been doing the mewing very faithfully, and I am seeing his face changing.
I have 2 other demos this time.
Good. So if you don't know what mewing is, it's a thing about changing your posture and exercising your jaw and things like that to change your dental arch and to move your teeth so that you don't have to have braces. And the other day he was sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, his face really does, it looks different. And that's when Tom's like, do you think it's a mewing? And I'm like, oh, maybe it is.
Really fun. Man, that was just falling.
80 degrees. That'd be nice.
It was so cool. It was like
I think it was before this that I saw some things that...
What are you drawing, Solly?
Can't look.
Can't look yet? Okay.
Alright, I'm going to scroll back
Mom,
down.
my
Just hit that
elf
blue button.
living
Oh, there you go.
Our house has such great natural light. She wishes that hers did. And it's funny because our house doesn't even have big windows or anything. It's just that there's not a lot of space in here, so the windows we have lights it up pretty good. Did I miss some stuff?
I'm with her over there.
I'll get it. Let's touch the bag.
A Cookie Monster thing, that'll be cute. Happy birthday to
Titan, that's a fun name.
I'm losing it now.
Any baseball fans? I like to see hear that the Dodgers are winning, but I don't really watch them. I do.
You do?
The guy at the Magic Shop is like a crazy Dodgers fan, and so he's always talking about it. No, I mean Dodgers are from where I used to be, so you kind of care, but not really.
I was gonna say
A certified electronic. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Certified electronics technician works as an electrician apprentice. Discuss computer repair. Any advice? Well, I think it's a good way to do it. We do in-home repair, and so that's our little niche, and it works well. Anything can work if you give it a shot and really put your time into it.
And one of the things that I know it's not like this everywhere because a lot of places they have different zoning laws and things like that, but keeping our business from home instead of opening a store somewhere made it much easier.
Not only is it a lot cheaper, you don't have to be married to a door and always be there all the time and stay away from your family, and so it's very nice working out of the house.
We're planning to go to Oklahoma again, and I guess July, is that when the thing is?
Probably.
Tom's going to do the live streaming for the
That was the other reason I got this camera.
Pilgrim Weekend conference thing that we're going to go back there for, so that's the plan so far. Is a trip for this summer. We're going to add something fun to it too, though, because that's not that fun for the kids. So
yeah, we can. I'm sure there's stuff to do on the way or on the way back or down there.
Back to the Preterist Pilgrim Weekend in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's hard having your husband home gone all the time, not home all the time.
It might be hard too.
When we started our business, Tom had been offered a couple of different jobs elsewhere, but I remember telling him I would rather be poor than have him gone all the time because I just don't like that. So that's when we decided to try the computer business, and now it's been 13, almost 14 years that he's been doing it. Hopefully we'll get some more turtles. I'm sure Papa will have fun turtle hunting for us again this year. I think that thrilled him to do that for us.
I wanted to talk about that ACE one, how wanting to change. I think we watched a guy, what was the guy's name? It was Jay Weil. Was that his name?
Maybe.
I think it was. Anyways, he gave a conference on how, and all the stats of how homeschooled children outperform non-homeschooled children on a regular basis. But the interesting thing about his talk is they did all these studies about parents that were educated who homeschool, parents who weren't educated who homeschool, using this curriculum when you homeschool, using that curriculum when you homeschool, using this one or that one, having lots of money, not having lots of money, and it didn't matter. It mattered very little which curriculum they used. The kids still performed 30 or 40% better than the ones who are not homeschooled, and it didn't really matter much which curriculum you used. So I don't think it matters what curriculum you use. ACE is balanced and good. It's comprehensive, and then it's very easy for the parents to deal with. I think it's easier. You have to make sure they're not cheating and check their work and test them and stuff, but it's less work for the parents. And so since it doesn't really matter anyways which curriculum you're using, the one that makes your life easier, especially with lots of kids, is, my opinion, the better way to go.
And as far as wanting to change or whatever, I just stick with ACE, not because I think it's the best, or not that there's not other really good things out there. It's just easier not to have to start over from scratch every year because there is so many amazing things. So for me, I just adjust what we're doing. We use ACE. but I don't necessarily use it exactly the way ACE designed it to be used for each kid. I just do it the way that makes sense for each one of the kids and make adjustments. And if I hear about something that I would like to do, I don't have to buy a whole new curriculum. I just add in new things, or make sure that we have time in the schedule for something extra that we want to do. And even that, it's like from season to season we might change. Like we work on nature notebooks or other things that we want to do, but we don't do it all the time. And there's nothing, I think it's kind of like, if there was like a really glaring problem with what you're doing, then go ahead and like look for something different. But I think what trips a lot of people up is that it's like dating before you get married. The more people you date, the more you want to find the perfect person, so that you start like nitpicking every little thing. Like, oh, I want a person who likes these things or is this way. And if you just marry somebody and you're committed to it,
you can get along with anybody.
Yes, that's the thing. And it's the same with a curriculum. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect one. There's always going to be something. Grass is always going to be greener. And you can always keep looking, but what I always see is that people who keep looking for the better curriculum always keep looking. Year.
They change to a new curriculum all the time, and they are stressed out about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't make that big a difference in your kid's life. So getting one that you like, even if it's not perfect, you're not going to find the perfect one. So you just get one that works, and it's good, and it's not going to make them stupid.
And by works, it's... I don't know. To me, it's even, I don't know. I don't even know how to say what I'm thinking. But we make a mountain out of a molehill, I think, a lot of times. And it's so easy to fall into that trap of looking for the perfect
Becca has the best math. We're going to use Becca for math, and then we're going to use Alpha and Omega for the English, because they're all... I mean, you can do all that, but it's so much work and stressing over the curriculum when it doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to love your kids the way you do. So you're already going to be the best teacher for your kids no matter what. If your kid doesn't... Oh my goodness. I went to public school, and if I didn't get something and I failed on something, they didn't go back and redo the curriculum for me. I just didn't know that. And most of the time it's because I wasn't paying attention. But I was the kind of person that could totally get straight A's, but I absolutely did not. I was a B's and C's student because I didn't care. I knew how the bare minimum I could do, and I didn't want to be at school. I didn't really care, and I forgot half of what I learned anyways. But
that's the thing, is ultimately it's about whether or not your kids, maybe that's what I mean, can read and write and do their basic math. Everything else is kind of
the character building, living your life, growing into good people.
But I mean, as far as what your curriculum needs to do for you, that's it. And so you can get hung up on like so many different things that if your kids can read and write, you kind of actually want to just get out of their way after that, because forcing them or like trying to find this perfect thing. I guess what's happened here over the last 12 weeks is I've scaled back a lot on things that I'm requiring the kids to do and giving them more free space. And Judah's been like spectacular. All of a sudden he's out there building crossbows and some other strange equipment and things. And I just think your curriculum is like kind of irrelevant. It's in the way of your kids actually, whatever curriculum you have is kind of in the way. And it's a necessary thing, especially where you live with different laws and stuff like that. So it's important to have one for some specific reasons. But at the end of the day, you teach them how to read and write and say, go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And
we heard a funny comedian recently about, hey, I never know when I might need to figure out the volume of a cylinder. It just doesn't come in handy. You just don't need it. And not that it's not good to know, but if I ever needed to do something where I needed to figure out the volume of a cylinder, I would learn it then.
Yeah.
I would read it online.
I guess that's the other
figure it
important
out.
skill, is learning how to find information.
Yeah.
So if you can do those things, and it doesn't really matter.
Yes, Hannah knows that her scream gets attention. and she does it all the time, strictly because she's the center of attention in her world.
What?
Got an amen from Jesus. Look at that.
Okay, here, I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
She says sometimes she felt guilty that ACE was too easy for her as the mom. And obviously, you guys know, I love my kids, and training them is like the most important thing in my life in one sense, but in another sense, I'm a person too, and I have stuff I want to do, and I don't want to spend my whole day helping kids with schoolwork. I like it in small doses, but I have my own hobbies and books I want to read and things I want to do, and I don't need to do it the hard way just because
if it's too hard, it's not going to work anyways. So you can try to micromanage it and make it the best absolute go from 95% to 100%, and be super stressed and burned out and fizzled all the time when it doesn't make that big of a difference.
There's 11 people in this house that each have their own interests and desires, and finding an efficient way to get the important basic things done that have to be done, like getting the dishes done, getting the math done, getting the laundry done, so that everyone has all the free time that they need to do the stuff that they want to do. That's kind of my goal. I think that's part of what helped me, because I'm the same way. Like, I went to an ACE school, and it's like I still forgot. I think that's just the way it is. You forget most of the stuff that you learn. But because I was independent while I was doing it, it really cultivated that independent learning in me, because ACE is structured in a way that kids are very independent with their learning, and so then I still spend a significant amount of my time learning in things that I'm interested in. We do plan to make
girls' room video.
A girls' room video when the girls' room is actually done. We're just not done.
Still gotta do the
got
closet.
Like 10,000 small things. I think we said that last month, and probably the month before.
Maybe so.
But it's still true.
Life happens in between videos.
That's like how most of our projects go. I still need to paint these shelves up here too. It's like it takes us a really long time to get something started and then to get it done, but we do eventually get it there.
You got to look at your own state laws about homeschooling. Most of the time, you just need to prove that you're teaching them each subject or whatever. Tell them what subject you're doing.
I don't know. Not most of the time. Just in some states, it's that way.
Okay.
I don't know how.
That's why I said you got to check your own laws.
Yes. She's asking if there's an amount of hours the law says a child needs to learn, and this structure of that question is even funny to me, because that's different. How much they need to learn is different than how much time you actually spend on school, because in a public school or in a private school like I went to, a lot of the day, a significant part of the day, has nothing to do with learning. It's actually a very small amount that's actually on the learning part. But there are some states that have laws that say you have to be in school for a certain number of hours every day, but not where we live. Where we live, we have a certain number of days each year that we have to do, and certain subjects that we have to teach. We're like a medium state as far as laws go. What was I going to say? Oh, the Homeschool Legal Defense Association website tells you can look at all the different state laws so that you know wherever you live what your laws are.
Mom, can I have some more bread?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get me some more bread?
Asher, could you cut her another slice of bread?
Can I see what you drew yet, Sally?
Yes, in our state we do have to file just a single sheet of paper every year telling them that we're homeschooling.
Oh. Just a little village down here. Wow.
Thomas has not planned to go to college at this point. Probably never, I would
Or any
imagine.
point.
Or any point, he says. You never know what.
If I get struck by some sudden inspiration to become a doctor for some reason, I'll go to college now, but I don't want to be a doctor.
There you go.
You can put
Are you
your
silly?
hat. Put your hat on.
You-
So pink.
That was very nice. She made a whole hot cocoa.
Ooh.
There's
Eden's.
What was I gonna say? Oh, would we consider doing this twice monthly? I don't know about that. Is that better?
I was gonna keep a note.
I wouldn't mind I don't know.
We can do more live streams every now and then, but committing to it twice monthly would probably.
That's scary at this point.
Yeah.
I would like to do, we already talked about this before, but I would enjoy just more of, not necessarily live, but just sitting down and, or maybe live, chatting, you and me chatting about a topic. It'd be nice if I thought of a topic ahead of time when we do the live videos that we could talk about, so if there's nothing to respond to, that we would still have something to carry on the conversation about. But
Yeah, that's fine. Probably get a different venue, a couch or something.
hide out in your office, that'd probably be the best place to do it.
Yeah, live streams are definitely easier. You don't have to edit. That's absolutely true. Of course, you got to be careful that no one goes by naked or something.
Yeah, she
or
made me nervous earlier because she thought anybody pulled
someone
her
says
pants.
something they shouldn't, and
Yeah, you never know what somebody might say.
You're doing the top of your hair, not this one on my head.
Are we still gonna do the mail opening live? I've just been opening stuff when it comes, and I haven't been setting it aside.
it's totally fine to do. I mean, she didn't want to edit those. I told her we could totally open them live.
Which, by the way, thank you for. And I forgot what her name is. It sent me the Clearly Canadian, so thank you. I got those.
I saw those sitting there. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
somebody was paying attention.
And
They must be making those more full time now.
we've gotten several Easter cards in the mail, and the little card from Jane that came. Those all came like in this last week or so.
Homeschool co-op. I don't even know what that is. That, like the little party thing for like ACE.
It's when families at homeschool like get together and do classes together.
Ah, I see.
Or go field trips and things like that. But
every activity, it comes with a big degree of commitment and time and taking away from something else. So
that's the thing is like when we used to do Cub Scouts, it was on Tuesday and I was in charge of the Tiger Cubs. So, but it's like that should, it's an hour-long thing, but it's not really an hour long because it takes me a couple of hours to get the lessons ready, and then we have to get the kids in the car and go to the thing, or get the house ready for everybody to come over, and then do it, and then visit with everybody afterwards, and it's at least another hour. So by the time it's all said and done, it's taken me like 6 hours to do this 1 hour Cub
meanwhile,
Scout
stuff
activity.
at home's not getting done, and
it doesn't even matter. It's just like it's a big, when you're committing to anything outside the house, even if it's just an appointment for something. The appointment might be an hour long, but you've really shot half of the day because of all that's the lead up
when you
and
got
the
a big
getting there and
family,
the coming
it
home.
becomes much more of a issue as well.
Even like going to see Grandma Fern.
Right, it's difficult.
It takes a significant amount of time every Monday to make that happen, but that's to me a valuable thing, so I do it. But it's got to be really valuable for me to want to commit to doing something.
Yeah.
And
because we could run out and take one kid to this thing and one kid to that thing. And this guy wants to join this team and this one wants to join that team, and you can kill yourself doing all that stuff. And not that we don't do stuff and don't have fun together, but usually it's going to be a group activity where we're all having fun doing the same thing.
Yes, Pamela, I did get all of those books, so thank you so much for sending those. We got actually like 2 or 3 different packages that came from Amazon and had all these nice books in them, and I've been enjoying looking at them.
Mom,
Those came like a while ago though. That's why I didn't think to mention it.
I
And I did not send any postcards and thank yous, so good thing you brought it up. The brick wallpaper I got from Amazon, and we have a link for our Amazon store, and it's in there. So if you're
Yep,
interested.
look in the comment or the description, you'll see that link to our Amazon affiliate thingy.
And I had one more thing I wanted to say before we say goodbye about what you were just talking about. Going places,
Committing to things. As we all did the same thing. Each person doing something individually is difficult.
Mom, I'm gonna have a more piece of bread.
Oh, all I was going to say is that all of our homeschool friends that used to come over on Mondays, I've been wanting to set aside just one afternoon a month for all of them to come over, and I've even talked to most of them, and they're all like, yes, please, let's do that. And I still haven't, like, super easy for me just to say, okay, this is the day, and then everybody show up, and I haven't done it. So.
Well, you should.
Life gets away from me sometimes. Okay, we got 1 minute left, I guess, so, any last parting thoughts?
Nope.
Anybody want to show off a picture before we say goodbye to everybody?
Asher wanted to show off his picture.
Is it appropriate?
Drew's paper is that, mine is that. Drew did a really bad job. I didn't know. Asher really did a really bad job. If you turn it around.
Pretty birds. And then Judah wants to show off whatever this
Hannah's
is.
head.
Hannah's
Asher's trying to
head.
make Hannah's head.
And then this one is
Claudia's.
Claudia's.
This
He
is
made
my other
everyone.
Asher got another one.
Oh, what is that?
It's a slickster from the game.
Asher drew that one as well. Asher's been busy today. Good job,
Anybody
guys.
else?
I didn't really,
We're all
really
done?
even try.
You gonna show off yours, Solomon?
Oh,
I showed him already.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, everybody say goodbye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.